for Robbie and Trey, then they will be dismissed, and we'll take questions for Coach Shirts after that. Again, we ask, raise your hand, we'll get the mic to you, state your name and affiliation before you ask your question, and then we'll get started. Coach?
That was obviously not the way we planned it, but really proud of our team, resilience we showed. GW's got a really good team, super talented, very well coached, run great stuff. Really hard to play against on both ends. Chris does a great job, and they have great players. So we knew it was not your typical 8 seed. When you're every metric would say they're a top 3 or 4 team in the league, and that's without having Castro for whatever it was 6-7 games. So we knew they were one of the better teams in the league. We'd have to play well. Certainly came out, and I thought obviously they controlled everything. Just beat us up on the glass, quicker to lose balls. I thought we let our shooting woes bleed into our defense. I thought our defense wasn't as good, and their shot making was great combination. And so, our guys though they've done it all year, hung in and showed resilience and fortitude, and made some big time plays on both ends of the floor in the second half to get a lead. And then I think we got up maybe 9, and then they come back and take the lead. It's kind of like the VCU game. You lose the lead late, and then you're able to pick yourself off the mat, and started with Trey, 2 free throws, and then we were able to make a run from there to close in the money time. So proud of our group, and we'll have to, we got to continue to try to find our best version. When we do it, it's been pretty good. It just got to be to that formula more consistent.
Thanks, Coach. Questions for Trey and Robbie? Please raise your hand. We'll get you the mics.
Hey, Robbie. Tom Timmerman from the San Luis Post-Dispatch. How the hell did you guys do that?
Man, I think we just have some tough guys, some resilient guys. I think that's been the key word for us all season, especially this conference run. We've been in multiple situations like this where we start out not the way we want to, and we go down by double digits, but we always find a way. I think we have the most confident group that I've ever had. No matter what point of the game, what the score is, we always have big belief in us, and so just the resiliency and the belief in our work is how we're able to do this.
You hit 3 threes in a row there. How confident were you at that point?
I've worked my butt off. I'm always in the gym working out, getting shots up, and so just trusting my shot, trusting the work that I put in. That's why I'm able to have those ability to do that.
Due to Randos, you want to lose Substack. Trey, second half you came out really aggressive in attacking the basket, and you had a good combination of the threes and the drives going on. Was there a discussion at halftime about trying to attack more on your part?
Yeah, no, just come out and bring some energy. We went to the second half down. That's kind of what we do a little bit, but to come out with some energy, bring the guys up. The guys have confidence in me to try to go make plays, and it's kind of what happened. So just felt that way.
Robbie, second half you guys shut them down. I wanted you to comment on your defense in the second half.
Yeah, I think just in the first half we weren't able to get stops, we weren't able to get rebounds, and so it was tough for us because I think they had 12 more shots than us in the first half, 12 more possessions, and so it's always hard to win a half like that. And so I think we were able to buy in and get back to our game plan, play physically and finish plays with rebounds. And so I think that was the biggest point of what's the difference between our first half defense and second half defense.
Nick Burnbaugh, Duquesne Student Television. Ishan Sharma started out a little slow, 1 for 6, and had a pretty resilient second half, 7 points and 2 steals. Can you talk about the level of not just character but resilience that having a guy like that coming off the bench and playing the second most minutes in the second half?
Yeah, Ish is an amazing guy. He has the confidence in himself, and we also have the confidence in him to keep playing and keep shooting. That's kind of what carried over into the second half. Glad to see the shots fall and the playmaking go his way. But that just kind of shows how our team is at the same time. Like what Robbie said, the resiliency. Even when things are going bad, we still find a way to have the right mindset to keep pushing.
Joe Szymanski, Giant Killer. To either Trey or Robbie, you guys in that last week and a half leading up to the tournament, you had 2 tough losses on the road, one to Dayton, one to George Mason. You guys are down large at the half and were able to find yourself in the second half there. Did those experiences of those 2 games help you guys come back from that 14-point halftime deficit today?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, not even just those 2 games. I mean, when we played George Washington the first time, down, found a way to come back. Again, what Rob said, we just find our way to put ourselves in these situations, but at the same time, we got enough of, confidence in each other to, carry over and, get the job done at the end of the day. So it's a good trait to have as a team.
Justin first.
Justin Guerrero with the Pittsburgh Tribune Review. Robbie, exactly right on that note, taking all that into account, as the price of poker continues to go up here starting tomorrow, just how would you assess just the level that the team's playing at right now overall?
Yeah, obviously it's kind of 2 different teams. In our first half, we don't want to play like that. We can't really continue to put us down in these, 15, 20-point games. When you're not going to be able to dig yourself out that hole, every game, especially, now when it's a, win or go home scenario. In the regular season, it was fine because you got your next game, but, in this case, you dig yourself in a hole like that, you lose a game, and, then you're not playing on Sunday. And so, we have to have the ability to get back to playing like we did in the second half for, as much as we can in the game. I think we were able to do that early on in the season, and so just a mentality thing, a physicality thing, and so we're going to go ahead and, get right and get ready for tomorrow.
Tom, go ahead.
Trey, you guys go up by 9, and then they go on a 10-0 run, and you guys are behind.
Yeah.
What's the feeling is that as you do all that fighting back to get the lead, and now you've lost it, and then talk about when you get to the line to shoot 2?
Yeah, I mean, it hurts, but, Coach Scherz likes to tell us, next play mentality, take in 1 possession at a time. So that's kind of the mindset that we try to flip to, even, before they make runs or we make a run, just next play the possession, and let the possession stack, and then, that the rest will take care of itself. But, it hurts when, you go on a run and you're starting to feel good, and then it's just kind of like, wow, they just, we're kind of letting them back in the game. But, I'm glad we got a bunch of guys who just find the will to push through, for sure.
Will McDonald, King Student Television. Robbie and Trey, how are you going to implement what you learned from this game moving forward?
We're just going to prepare first for whoever, find out whoever we play next. But I think it's a big thing of us, like we said, playing the way we should be. When we're at our best, we feel like we can beat anybody, not only just in the conference, but in the country. And so, we're gonna find out who we play, and, we're going to go back to the drawing board. The guy to my right here is going to draw a master plan, and, we're going to try and execute that plan.
Go ahead, Tom.
Trey, since you have eligibility left, how was it to find out that Coach Scherz is staying?
Yeah, I mean, I was glad to see the news. We had our conversations, looking forward to next year. We'll keep battling out this year, though. We're not done. Take a game at a time, but, ultimately we want to get to the tournament. So we'll just take it game by game, and, like I said, we talked about next year, so we're good.
I don't got eligibility.
No, thank God.
No more eligibility from me.
All right, thank you, Robbie. Thanks, Trey.
Thank you.
You guys can
Thank
go
you,
back
guys.
to doing your team.
If you were staying, I was leaving.
Oh, I lost.